think. Hopefully. Let's just make sure. Again, I haven't done this in a while. So I just want to make sure that, there we go. Oh, wait, no. I want, yeah, okay. There we go. All right, so how's it going, everybody? It's been a long time since I've been live on here, to be honest. It's just, sorry, I've been mostly doing TikTok lives, but, and doing some other videos and whatnot, and I've been posting a lot more on TikTok, but, like, I'm still doing, obviously, the long-form content here on YouTube, but some of that content just would not go as well here on YouTube compared to TikTok, but yet I have done some cross-posting as well. But, it is currently 11:25 p.m. at night, and, well, I want to talk about a few things. So, for people that haven't seen my updates yet, my Capri Saturday is going to be out of my life. The Poltermerc will officially be sold, which is disappointing, to say the least, but it's one of these things where it's necessary. I am just so tired of that car and what it's put me through and everything, and, it's going to a really good home. He's got more of the means than I do to really get it to where it should be, and he's a big Ford guy, and I'll be able to check up on it as well in the future. Hey, Peter, how's it going, dude? But yeah, so like I mentioned, like Capri, so she's gonna be gone come Saturday. Which right now she has no electrics working, period. Doesn't have any, doesn't run, obviously. The starter, I believe, is piled up. It needs a fuel tank, and it needs the carburetor replaced, which is quite a few things, to be honest. And I live in a small town called Sundre, Alberta. So, hey, John. How's it going, dude? But yeah, so that is, gonna be going bye-bye, and it'll be nice. I will be also doing a video sometime in the summertime in Calgary on his 70, I think it's a 71, for Torino, which this guy has been a fan of my channel for a while, and he's been wanting this car for a long time. So I am totally okay with this, and it's kind of nice to it going to a fan, which is pretty cool. And I'll get to see what he does with it and everything, and he'll give me updates and stuff like that. It's just disappointing that it didn't really work out with me, but I swear to God, anything that I get from my buddy Keith is just a disaster for me for some reason, and I don't get it. Because, like, they are fantastic vehicles in his possession, and then when they get to me, for some reason, they just go wrong. But yet, I get a car outside of him, and it's perfectly fine. And yet, like, he vets his cars very well. Like, he'll be, driving these cars and putting a ton of miles on them. Well, not as much mileage as I put on them, to be honest. And I think that's one of the things about that thing. So, yeah. But as Peter mentioned, it'll be weird driving a right-hand drive in Canada. Yeah, it will be. However, this car, like, and I don't know how long I'll even own this thing. I'm gonna attempt to, like, daily drive it, but it has a problem. And how I'm going to fix said problem. Hang on one second, because I'm going to grab said thing to attempt to fix it. So, there will be a video on this to see if it works. Is this right here. This is K-Seal, a head gasket in a bottle, essentially. I've seen it work, not in person, but I've seen it work. Like, Roadkill swears by this stuff. Now, the only thing that I'd be concerned about, because it's twin turbo, is when it gets into boost, if it would just, like, blow this out. Like, it should seal, but we shall see. Who knows? It might just be completely fucked, and I have no idea. But that's okay. We shall see. And so it'll be kind of a fun video that way. And then there'll be a couple other ones, like, as an example, there'll be, and I'm not releasing how much I'm paying for it yet, but there'll be a video on this car, which is, I bought the cheapest running and driving Subaru, our twin turbo import Subaru. what the video title is gonna be, and then it'll be me beside this, this car. Then there will be a video on like just driving it, and I know it's only a temporary fix, but I want to actually see how long it could potentially last too, because it's one of these things like, and maybe a durability test with K-Seal. I don't know, like it's one of these deals. It should make a good video, get a decent amount of views, whatever else. That's what I'm going for, right? Because I have to think about content, and this is like a good content thing. This car is strictly for content. Because if I was doing this in my right mind, I mean, I would still buy it because I can still make money on it. It's one of these deals. Like, I will make money on this car, guaranteed. There's just a couple of things that I have to fix on it. Because, like I said, it needs head gaskets. But, like I said, KCL. We'll see how long it lasts. If it'll even... Because depending on how bad the head gasket is, if it's just like a minor leak or is it like completely blown out? I don't know. Is oil or is coolant already in the oil pan? Stuff like that will dictate on this. And like, so I'll obviously give it an oil change and stuff like that and figure some things out with it. But, I am truly just very, very excited for this. It'll be very fun. I just got to get a hold of the seller, which happens to be a really good friend of mine, but she is so terrible at getting back to people, and it's frustrating because I'm trying to get something set up for this weekend to pick it up. Because at this point, like, I was gonna do it on, like, Saturday, Sunday, or, like, Saturday, Sunday, maybe even, like, Monday or Tuesday. But now I'm wanting to aim more towards, like, Saturday. Because, get to Calgary on Saturday, do all the things with it, and, yeah. But, unfortunately, I can't get a hold of her, no matter what I try. I've texted her, I've called her, I've, messaged her on Messenger, and she's just, I love her to pieces, but man, she is very, very difficult to get a hold of. And, it's one of these deals, and I know where she lives, and I don't want to do this, but I have been tempted just to drive to her house and being like, hey, can we please just get this deal done here? Like, it's one of these things, you haven't been answering your phone, I don't know what else to do here. Because once it's actually, because I want to pay for it, it's in my possession, then I can figure out how to get it back here. Which, how I'm going to get it back is AMA. Straight up AMA. I've got a card. I've got my membership. It should be all good to go, which is right there. And there you go, it's right there. So, yeah, like, and AMA cards are amazing. Now, will it be under the mileage for it to be covered? No. It'll cost me a little bit in the end, and I know that, but that's okay. And we'll see. And then realistically, like, so at this point, my total investment that's going to be into this car is going to be like because the KCL is like not a lot, and then getting it towed here is only going to cost me like $40 or whatever else like that. And then there's the whole purchase price of the vehicle and whatnot. We'll see how it works out, because again, this is going to be the cheapest running and driving twin-turbo import Subaru ever. I might be able to claim that. Maybe. This is just like kind of like a friend deal, whatever else like that, so they would only sell it to me for this price, because otherwise it would just go to the Kidney Foundation and being sold. So, like, for reference of how cheap it is. And I am excited for it. It should be a lot of fun to play around with for a little while at least. And I am going to daily drive it, or at least attempt to. See how it goes. And, I will get insurance on it and all that jazz. And, go from there. And then, so with that whole thing, and you're looking at a 2012 Holden VE Commodore SS Ute with a 6-liter. Nice! That'd be fun. That would be a lot of fun, actually. It's just so sad that we never got those here. Like, we got our own version of the Commodore, but never the Ute version of it. Which isn't the Ute called the Maloo, if I'm not mistaken? Or maybe I'm wrong on that? But I thought that the Ute was the Maloo, unless that's just like a certain variant of the Commodore Ute is called the Maloo. But that'd be cool as hell. You know, you got the 6-liter LS, which is going to push out about, I think it's like, what, 450 horse, give or take? Somewhere in that range. 400 to 450, something like that. Whether it's a manual or automatic, if it's a manual, it's a T56. If it's a automatic, it's a 4L60. You know, it should be pretty freaking cool for you, man. That'll be awesome. Now, and like something with me though, I will say, so if y'all are wondering what's going on with Stitch, ever since I made my last one, and oh, okay, I didn't know that. Fair enough. Okay, good to know. But since I made my last video on that car, which was a little bit ago, it was about a week ago or so, I fixed the seat mount on that car, right? And it's all, you know, that's been holding up really good. It's working just fine. But up next, you know, I'm gonna be doing the like the header swap is gonna happen, but what I need to happen with it is, so I need to test fit the header on my spare engine up in Edmonton. Now, I have requested that my buddy Keith, it's at his property, I've requested that he can he please do it before Tuesday, because it saves me a trip up there. And then all I asked him for, just like, hey, can you measure, you know, the clearances that it would have? And that's all I'm asking for, right? And go from there. And then once I have that, and once I know that it's all going to fit just tickety-poo in my car, because I'll have to, like, take the tape measure into my engine bay and take a look, then I will get my dad to pick it up, because he's coming back on Wednesday. He was supposed to come back tomorrow from his job, but he got called up to stay there for a couple extra days. But it's almost like advantageous for me just for this sort of thing, right? And which will be good. So that'll happen, hopefully. Then I'll get it ceramic coated. There's, I think it's called Top Shot Coatings in Calgary. Will get it done for me. They quoted me a really good price. I was supposed to get this done like a month ago, actually coated, but I wanted to make sure that it would all fit, because I saw a post of somebody saying they don't fit in a Fox body. I want to know for sure, because I know they don't fit a first-gen Mustang. I know they don't fit a Fairmont, or not Fairmont, sorry, not a Fairmont, Fairlane with the inline 6 from like 69, but because the problem is it was touching the shock towers on those, apparently. But the Fox bodies actually have a wider, you know, engine bay in them, and the shock towers are further out, so it should fit. And if not, I will whack it with a hammer. I do not care. Then, you know, get it to the shop there, get it all, like I said, ceramic coated, then get it back up to Edmonton, install the header into the car, go to Tim's Muffler out in Leduc, get all the exhaust hooked back up to the header, and go from there. So it should be a very nice little setup. It will boost performance exponentially in my car. Just due to the fact of how restrictive the stock manifold actually is. Because first-gen guys do not understand how, like, first-gen Mustang guys do not understand how restrictive my exhaust manifold is. Because put it this way. So, with the stock cast iron manifold, it goes from a hole that's about this big to a hole about this big, give or take. And as a result, that it really reduces power by quite a bit. If I put one of those first generation, you know, Mustang sort of manifold, exhaust manifolds on it, I'd probably actually gain like 5 to 10 horsepower, actually. So, but with that in mind, though, this header should actually gain me around 40-ish crank horsepower and around 60-ish torque to the crank, which is amazing out of a little header in an inline six. But considering it's a Hooker Super Competition Series, dual exhaust header, right? And they only built these, like, they stopped building these about 20 plus years ago. So they're kind of rare to find. And yeah, I am just very, very excited for this header to be installed into the car because it'll be one hell of an upgrade for it. It's going to sound different. It's going to be a true dual exhaust setup. It will not be crossed over at all. So I'm not sure how it's going to sound. I've never heard one with this particular header on it. I've heard ones that have a different header, like the short tube headers that are from, like, Scott Drake sells a kit, and there's also one that is off of eBay that you can get as well. So, and those, like I said, are just straight up stainless, short tube dual exhaust headers. So they're a little different than a long tube header that actually, these were the best header that they ever made for these inline sixes. And should be a ton of fun with that, and just the extra power. It's also going to gain a bit of fuel economy too, like not a ton, but it should gain, a little bit. And I already have a full exhaust on that thing, Peter. I just need the header on it. And then the thing is, so right now, like, we're going to have to cut away part of the exhaust because underneath the car, the stock manifold, we have it wide off going into dual exhaust. But with this setup, we're going to have to cut that Y and cut the back area to hook it all up. Plus, I also need to find like really good exhaust header gaskets for it, because this is a gasket style header for the for actually hooking up to the rest of the exhaust. It's not one of those like form fit ones. So I will need to get like a really, really, really good quality gasket, and I'm just not sure where I can find those. I mean, obviously, it's JB Power Center. Mopac would probably have them too. Stuff like that. Hell, even Top Shot Coatings might be able to help me out too with that. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I'm excited for it. And like I said, so it'll just get hooked up to the rest of the already custom exhaust that's going out the back of it. And yeah, honestly, just very, very, very excited for it. And then also, I have an HEI distributor to throw in that car too, so that'll get installed in the next little while. Hopefully it's good, because I have heard some HEIs not being as good out of the box, but you never know with this. And then, yeah, it'll get rid of my Duraspark system. And the Duraspark is just, I mean, this would just clean up the engine bay, and then it also gives me a spot to actually put the my brain will work here. It'll give me a spot to put the oil catch can when I get one of those, because I'm gonna install a catch can just off of like Amazon or something like that. So it'll go right where the old ignition box was on the driver's side, on like close to the shock tower there. So yeah, it should be pretty good overall. And like I said, just little custom things here and there to make it have better performance and just to be a better vehicle overall. That's all I'm shooting for. Plus the nice thing about with the catch can, because I can just, hey, look at that. Oh, it's any of the oil that, like, because basically what I'm going to do actually with the catch can is every time I fill it up with, fuel, I'm just going to check that catch can, and I'm just going to put the catch can back into the motor, every time. So, and just find like a good mount for it that's just like a simple, like just a quick disconnect thing or something that would fit onto the, onto where I want to put it. There's tons of room under that hood. I could put it anywhere, but that makes the most logical sense. If I'm deleting the stock ignition box, I can put the catch can right there, right? I can utilize those holes, hopefully, by any chance, and yeah. Wow, no, it's interesting. I don't go live on here for a while, and now I get, these trolls in here are just hilarious. Like, did you come from my TikTok? Were you banned from my TikTok for being a little twat? Is that what this is? Are you just, pointing something out that you are self-conscious of by yourself? Because realistically, you just don't really have anybody to talk to, and you should really be talking to a therapist about this sort of thing. So at this point, you're just lashing out to some woman online who is just trying to have a fun little live stream and talk about cars and stuff like that with people on the internet. Kind of sounds like it there, bud. Like, again, it's sad. And it's true, like, little steps turn into big steps 100%. That's how this goes. Because you do a little improvement here, a little improvement here, a little improvement here. It turns into something massive. Because look at what I've done with the car. I've vastly improved it with what I've actually done to it. But it's one of these things. I'm the one talking live. Well, I could call up a bunch of my friends if I wanted to, but instead I am making content for my fans. Which, let me guess, you probably don't even have a YouTube following, do you? Probably not. Like where I have over 4,200 subscribers and counting? It's one of these things. This is how you help out everything when it comes to, your content. And if you don't see that, that's pretty sad. And all you're doing is just giving me more content by trying to troll. You're giving me something to talk about. Like, it's very, very sad that you don't realize this. And when trolls do this with content creators, it just gives us more content. Like, genuinely, dude. It's pretty sad. It's really sad. So please, keep going if you want to. I don't really give a shit. Like I said, I only respond to trolls just because of, like I said, it's more content. All it's for there, bud. But yeah, like with my car, it's gonna be great with all the little upgrades and whatever else. Oh, let's see what this one is. Wait, another moderator handled this? Do I have a moderator on right now? I didn't even realize I did. Okay, interesting. Who is my mod that's in the chat right now? Interesting. Exactly. Like, and I get out like a ton. I work on my cars, and it's just a lot of fun. Yeah, I can't see one either. But like, it says like your comment there that you put in because because you called him a douchebag. It got flagged by YouTube. So I had to look at it to see what the message actually was. And I can either show it or hide it. And I tried to show it, but it says one of my moderators took care of it. So, interesting. But yeah, it is interesting, though. With people, that way. And yeah, like, people are watching this live because they enjoy talking with me and they enjoy talking cars and whatever else like that. But, I understand. You're just sad and lonely tonight. So you decided, let's go try and troll a automotive live stream with a girl. And in reality, all you're showing is that you have no friends. You're overcompensating for the fact that you have nobody to talk to and you may have a tiny pecker down there. I'm not too sure, but that might be the case at this point. And you just want to try and put people down. And it's very, very pathetic. Like, it's very pathetic. Exactly. Like, and I appreciate that, Kevin. And that's one thing. Like, everybody is coming in here and just, saying how bad of a person that you are there, Julius. And it's very, very, very sad. But that's okay. You do you, boo. You do you, boo. Like, honestly, I mean, I may just ban them. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, no, it's one of these things, and like, you know, because with like the oil catch can, like that's gonna add like just a little bit of power because I'm not doing a PCV system anymore. So it's not recycling oil, and as a result, it'll actually gain a little bit of power off the catch can. Not a ton, but it might be like a couple of extra horsepower, whatever else. But every little bit counts, right? And when you do these sort of upgrades, and you can just do a basic catch can off like Amazon, it won't cost you anything. And it'll be great. So we'll see. Exactly. Well, I mean, they probably don't even have enough of a following to actually go live themselves. So there's that. Saber, Saber is starting to struggle a little more. To be honest, I fear what the vet is going to say. He hasn't been eating quite as much anymore. He hasn't really been hanging out with me near as much in here. His meow has even changed. It's a lot quieter now, and it's just, yeah, I don't know. It's one of these things, and we'll just have to see, you know. I don't know much about cars, do you? You pretend you do, but in fact, you just said is too funny. Well, I actually do know a lot about vehicles, and I can probably school you on vehicles in general, because most of the people in the chat can testify to this. My automotive knowledge is quite immense, and it's one of these deals where I don't know everything. Absolutely not. But people like you that try and claim that I know nothing because I'm like a woman or whatever else like that, when like, how many people do you know that's been able to do a T5 swap on a 200 inline 6 81 Ford Mustang? And by the way, you know, you have to like cut up the clutch fork and, you know, combine like an old clutch fork with the newer style Fox body forks. You have to as well get a custom bell housing adapter made. You know, you have to do quite a bit of other stuff too, and had to modify the transmission mount for it to fit too. Again, I did that. You know, like, it's all documented on my YouTube channel, which has over 4,200 subscribers. So, hey, there you go, Mark. Nice. Oh, to be honest, you know, genuinely, Kevin, all I am doing is replying to them because it's content. Quite literally, all this is content at this point. And I do think about that. I respond to the trolls because it gives me more content. Yeah, because, I don't know, a lot of my subscribers don't want to watch me live. They'd rather watch my videos that I filmed of me working on my car, of me driving my car, of me at a car show, of me at a junkyard. Like, again, most content creators, they don't have a huge following when it comes to live, and you would know that if you actually made any content for yourself. Yeah, see, Mark, and I appreciate that. And, like, don't get me wrong, I'll wear makeup every once in a while, but it's not, like, heavy or anything like that. I don't really do anything fake, and it's pretty late. You know, it's I'm pretty laid back that way. This is true. This is true. Oh, that one, yeah. That video was, like, that van, God, it was atrocious. But, you know, It's one of those things. It doesn't have winter tires on it though, so it doesn't really help. And I don't know why he doesn't just put winter tires on the damn thing, but you know, exactly. You know, like it's great. See now, here's the thing: the caravan that I normally drive for work is honestly I don't have like I am honestly fine with it because it's a 2010 with a 3.3 and it has winter tires on it and it's relatively light for what it is. The 2015 with the Pentastar is heavy and it's got all season tires on it. It sucks when you're trying to go through winter conditions with it. It's terrible. So, you know, it's one of these things where you have to have like the right equipment that way. Wait, an '08 TNC with the 4-liter soon? Oh, Town and Country with the 4-liter. Now, okay, why the 4-liter though? Just out of curiosity, because the 4-liter V6, I don't really know much on it, but is it just what you could find, or because I would suggest if you're gonna get those caravans or those Town and Country, it's $350. Okay, that makes perfect sense. Okay, no, that's fine. That's all the justification I need to hear. That cheap? You buy it. You just buy it. You'll make money on it, even if you have to scrap it. Like, just yeah, do it. But yeah, because like if anybody is gonna actually buy one of those caravans, I would actually suggest they get the 3.3 liter rather than the 3 point or the 4-liter or the 3.6. The reason for that, the 3.3 is a freaking indestructible motor. You cannot kill them, I promise you. My brother had one of those engines in a 93 Caravan. He literally put used cooking oil in it and ran it for 3 months and it still didn't die. So it's just amazing reliability out of those engines. Oh yeah, I mean, hey, as long as it's working good for you, that's all that matters, right? And as long as you enjoy your vehicle, it's good. Hey, there you go, perfect. Like I said, making money, man. That is brilliant. You know, and the one thing is, because you know, with me, seems like a crank trigger. Ah, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that particular van. I haven't seen it, so yeah, but it's all good. So, you know, I don't know if any of you saw my funny little video of with the Subaru of what you need to do with it. If you get a Subaru, you should carry like a bottle of this with you at all times. Because it's just kind of a funny video and like, and it doesn't have like a ton of views on all the platforms, but it's doing decent. Like on Facebook, it has like 3,000 or 4,000 views. On TikTok, it has like I think like about 1,000, and YouTube here, it's only got like maybe 300 or so. But you know, it's kind of fun. I love older cars and trucks. If I had my way, I'd trade it for my old 91 F-150 single cab straight six. Wait, what? Oh, you would trade. Sorry, you would trade your Tucson for a night like a 306, you know, F-150. Hey, no worries, Mark. I really do appreciate it. You are absolutely incredible, and I very much appreciate the support, man. Take care. Have a fantastic rest of your evening, and have a wonderful sleep. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you in the in the comments soon. Yeah, I'm tired. Can you tell? I can't talk. But yeah, peace out, dude. Um. I mean, theoretically, you could. Theoretically. I don't know as much about pulling down a house. You actually need quite a bit of power to do that, which the 306 does not have that in spades. If it's built out, definitely. You know, you can build those 306s to, you know, over 500 horsepower, no problem. But it's one of those things, and and you could probably build it to higher than that. Because there's that one video that everybody tagged me when it came out, and it's like, yeah, I know about it. Um, because people know that I love the inline sixes, right? And I had no joke, 40 or 50 people tag me to say, hey, you should do this, or check this out, and it's kind of fun that way that I have those people that know me so well that they will tag me in videos like that. And also, something, because I don't know if any of you follow my TikTok, but there was this video that I did a couple weeks back. I was just drunk in the bar. That's what was going on. I was just drunk in the bar. And I filmed myself in the mirror in the bathroom, right? And what's interesting is this little video, it's a little wholesome and humble, and it's just kind of fun. And that video has over 110,000 views. It's become my second most viewed video on TikTok. It's become my second most viewed video, period. I don't have any videos that have done that here on YouTube. My highest viewed video on here, I think, is 50,000? 40,000? Something like that. And then, yeah, that one has over 100,000 views. But then a cold start, which the same cold start I posted here on YouTube. It didn't do that well on YouTube, but yet on TikTok, it has over 260,000 views. It's just wild. When we had that big cold snap, and I don't know if you remember seeing that video, but yeah, my car's buried in snow, and it's minus 20 outside. Yeah, oh yeah, and the thing is, with the inline sixes, because a lot of inline sixes respond to boost very well, because a lot of inline sixes, will have, forged internals and whatever else, and it's just for durability standpoint, they're just way overbuilt. Also, the dynamics of an inline six, they actually are very good when under boost, typically, as well. So they respond very well to it. My car would respond extremely well to boost, but it's one of these things where I just haven't figured out how I would exactly add boost. Because, yeah, I could do a turbo, but... or even a twin turbo setup, but I don't know. Oh, yeah, don't get me wrong, Kevin. There are videos that blow up better on TikTok than they do here on YouTube. This is absolutely true. I just kind of wish that I had, I wish I had that kind of staying power here on TikTok, or here on YouTube. Because, on TikTok, I also have over 6,000 followers on TikTok. It was not that long ago, about a month ago, where my YouTube and my TikTok followers were about the same, and then TikTok just surpassed it. So, it's one of these interesting things when it comes to some of the stuff with TikTok and YouTube, whatever else. My Instagram is it's just kind of a dud. It doesn't have a ton of followers. I think I have 1,300 followers, but yeah. I mean, here's the thing. So you're limited on two factors of these inline sixes of what you can do. 300 horsepower or 10 pounds of boost is what you can reliably do when they're stock. And it's one of these deals. Now, with it, because I thought about actually doing, a twin turbo setup on it with just, 8 pounds of boost, max. And seeing what it would do with that thing, because it would wake it up quite a bit. Just a stock twin turbo setup off of, a Subaru, or off of, a 3000 GT, or whatever, right? Just, cheap little turbos that I can find around that would do the trick. And so we'll see. And you race 300s in the 70s in Saskatchewan, Elrose area. What a rush. Nice. Well, that's really cool. And I can imagine, you were pushing some really good power out of those 300s then, too, back then. Depending on what setups you had and whatever else, because, turbo technology, if you did turbo it, which I'm positive you probably went more supercharger, being 70s rather than turbos, because turbos in the 70s were not good. They existed, but, the first car to ever put a turbo um, you know, on it was actually the Chevrolet Corvair in like 1963, I think it was, that they first put a turbo on a vehicle, period. And then, you know, turbos did exist in like the, if I'm not mistaken, they did exist in the aeronautical industry, but not the automotive industry. So it's kind of cool that Chevrolet was the first one to do it. And then so many people did it afterwards. Like GM still continued on with like turbos in the late 70s, with the 301 turbos in the Pontiacs. And then obviously they did a lot with turbo technology throughout the 80s with the Grand National and stuff like that with 3.8. And it's just really, really cool. Like, and that's the one thing. Like, the setup I really want is a supercharger, but, turbocharging is probably the easier thing to do. Because it's figuring out how the hell would I even mount a supercharger under the hood of that thing. It'd be a bit of a challenge. And I might have to, like, as an example, delete my power steering to do it. Which I don't want to do. I would have to get rid of my my mechanical fan to do it as well, which again, I'd like to keep the mechanical fan, but and just add an electric one as well. But I don't know, we'll see. It's one of these things where who knows what the future will hold for that car. And realistically, like, if somebody donates me a nice little, like, Eaton M90 supercharger or something like that, I'll figure out how to put it on their car. If somebody donates me a good set of, like, a twin turbos that are just, just like a cheap little small turbo, that's one of the things. Oh, yeah, like, that's the thing. Like, so turbochargers are free horsepower. They just are. Where, like you mentioned, superchargers, they're a net negative on the system until you're actually into the boost range, and then they're actually a positive. But a supercharger, like, it's interesting. Turbocharging can actually increase fuel economy, while supercharging does not. It would actually decrease fuel economy. So it's one of those things. I prefer a supercharger over a turbo because it's just that instant power, rather than the turbo's having to spool up. I like the whine of a supercharger over the spooling of a turbo / the blow-off valve, going to... Right? Like, I prefer, the whine over that. And just that whole thing that way, right? And it's more old school, and I like the look of a supercharger over the look of turbos. Plus, also trying to figure out where the hell I'd even mount turbos. They would have to be, like, mounted back in the engine bay somewhere. They'd probably be actually underneath the car to do that, which I don't want to do because that could also spell trouble when it comes to actually doing anything with it. And now the thing is, because I would have to like cut up my header so bad to do turbos, I think, to do it where they're actually under the hood properly, and I don't want to do that. That header is just like unobtainium. I would never be able to find another one. So, unless I like really, really look deep at finding one. Because again, they haven't built one of those headers in over 20 years. So, yeah. But, it's just that whole thing. And I'm just... Like I said, we'll see what I do with the car and with all of its, like, with making power and that sort of thing. We shall see how it goes. And what's kind of funny? That troll that was in here earlier? The reason why I also, like, just troll trolls back like I did and whatever else. Because it kind of teaches them a little bit of a lesson, because sure as shit, he left. Because he realizes he's not going to win this fight. You're not going to get somebody to, like, cry or whatever else like that, so he just disappears. It's pretty sad, the people are like that. But I won, because he's gone. Yeah, I haven't posted, like, a ton of content, because I haven't really had a lot of content to post. But coming up here, there will be content to post. There's gonna be, like the summertime, there's gonna be the dyno videos, there's gonna be working on the car, there's gonna be Subaru content, there's gonna be Mustang content, there's gonna be a bunch of different things. So stay tuned for it. Because yeah, it'll be exciting, there might be a car review or two, who knows. I'll be filming car collections and whatever else. Do I like working on late model cars? Absolutely not. I know I'm going to hate working on the Subaru. I know it. Doing, as an example, because apparently, it has issues cold starting. If it's, really cold, it does not want to start. So my guess is that it probably needs spark plugs. Either that or coil packs. Which, doing spark plugs on those things is a pain in the ass. You have to, it's actually easier to swap the plugs to pull the motor out. I'm not kidding. Now, you can do it with, a series of swivels and whatever else, but... Hi, Saber. Come here, bud. Speaking of Saber, look who I found. Hi, buddy. Your head's all wet, sir, because you were in the tub. Yes, you were. Hi, sir. They were asking about you, hey? Yeah, you were in the tub because your head is soaked, sir. But I don't like working on late model cars because they make it a pain in the ass with everything. Oh hey, you want to swap spark plugs? Oh, you have to remove the plenum. Why? Why would you design an engine that way? Just make it so that the spark plugs are accessible. Make it so that anything is accessible. Make it so that you don't need specialty tools to work on something. Make it so that, you don't need a computer, a degree in computer science to work on a car. It's so dumb. I do not like newer cars for that reason. There's a reason why I drive what I drive for the most part. I'm only getting the Subaru because it's cheap. I like them, but they're cheap. Exactly, and that's one of these things where I'm a bigger fan of the older cars and how they were built and how much simpler they are. And genuinely, take any Joe Blow. They can go get a Fox body, have a basic tool set, and pull one out of the bush and just revive it. With a basic tool set, you don't need any specialty tools for it. The only thing you might need is a pulley puller. That's about it. Everything else you can have in your basic tool set, and that's what I like. I don't really like working on newer stuff. It's just a pain in the ass. Oh, 100%. I want one of those kind of thing. It would be a lot of fun. And yeah, the old Holden 6-cylinder motors. So here's the question, because again, I don't know as much on the older Holdens. Were they based on the Chevy 250 inline 6, or were they more was it kind of their own inlines? Did they do the same thing with how Ford did their inlines between Australia and the US/Canada, where in Australia they completely evolved that engine into the badass Barra? Because I don't know. I genuinely do not know with the Holdens, because I haven't done as much research in the Holden as I should have. I like what they did. I love Australian cars and everything. It's just one of these things where I just don't know as much about them. Hey, Saber? I don't know as much about them, but I know a lot about you, and you're a fluffy kitty. I love you. I love you. Thank you, buddy. Hey, no worries, Kevin. Have a wonderful sleep. It was nice chatting with you, and talk to you soon. To be honest, I don't know how much longer this live is going to last. It might last another half an hour. It might last 20 minutes. I don't really know. So, but yeah, have a wonderful sleep, dude, and lovely chatting with you, and talk to you soon. Peace out. But yeah, no, I'm like I said, it's just as long as I can get a hold of, like I said, Tay, with the whole, thing. As far as I know, they're unique to Australia. I had a 186 red motor. They can make hot engines. Oh, okay. Yeah, 186. Yeah, I've never heard of that. I've heard of like the 250. I've heard of like the 223. I've heard of the 292 as well. But those are really the only ones that I really know about from GM for their inline sixes. And then of course there's like the weird like inline fives and stuff like that they had in the early 2000s, which is just bizarre from GM. I don't know why they ever did the 5-cylinder, but they did. They did. And it's their own design too. It's not like a Volvo 5-banger, But like, and a 5-cylinder doesn't make much sense. It genuinely doesn't. They're unbalanced, and it's just weird. But yet, Volvo was very, very successful with the 5-cylinder engines, and they were some of the most reliable engines of all time. But, they're just inherently unbalanced, though. First Holden motor was a 138 gray engine. Oh, there you go. I did not know that. Good to know. Hi, Zebra. And actually, how much money do I have here? Because I might just use this for my stuff tomorrow. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 18. Oh, hey, I can just use this. Yo, let's go. As long as I remember to bring this with me, because I could just use straight up like cash that way, but when you have coins, why not? That are just sitting here. Yeah, no. Because I gotta do some stuff with my license tomorrow, so we shall see. And also, I gotta renew my license soon, too. Because this is like something with like my class 4 that I have to update on the system. But it's just gonna cost me a couple bucks, whatever else, not a big deal. But, yeah, no. Because, yeah, like, I only really know, like, with, like, what Chrysler did for the inline sixes and what Ford did with their inline sixes. But, like, Holden, I'm not really as aware of. They went on color of engines, so they used a Nissan engine in 1986. Oh, okay. Interesting. Had no idea. Because, again, I haven't really, like, researched Holdens as much. But as I found out, like, a lot of these Australian vehicles, like, it can be difficult to actually find some information on them. Case in point, when I was doing my research on that Aussie Dodge Charger, or, sorry, that Chrysler Valiant Charger, I should say, that I couldn't find a ton of information on it. It was kind of tough. And, like, people have asked me, like, what was, like, my favorite day of filming, and it was that, I think. Getting to experience that Charger, and then going to drive the Supra, even though that review sucked, and I want to honestly redo it, but I don't know, we shall see. If I get the opportunity to or not, or, because I want to review more cars this summer. I'd love to. Like, there's still going to be the Cosworth Vega, as long as Paul has it back together again, coming up. When the weather gets nice, I'll be able to review that properly. And let's see, what else is there? That's the only one that I have prospect of actually, like, driving it and stuff. There's still, like, a few car collections. Like, there's my buddy Kirby's car collection, which I need to take a look at. There is... I'm actually going to be doing... Sometime this summer, I'll be going back to Vulcan and filming the rest of my buddy's collection with his 2 Dodge Chargers, with his... the Civic hopefully running, and... he's got, like, a little hot rod product, too, I think. Oh, no, he may have gotten rid of that. Yeah, he got rid of that to pay for the paint job on his Charger. That's right, yeah. But, we shall see. Your favorite is the Monaro? See, no, that's fair. I mean, there's some really cool looking Monaros, like the old Monaro GTS from like 72, 73 is a gorgeous looking car. And then there's of course like the Ford Falcons from back then too, which they're probably the most famous because of Mad Max. But it's one of those deals, and like people do dress up their cars to look like the Mad Max Falcon, quite a bit. But yeah, and actually, because if I'm not mistaken, in the original Mad Max movie, like the cop cars themselves, because they weren't Falcons, were they? They were Holdens, right? I'm pretty sure they were Holden Monaros. I think. Um, in that the little four doors that were yellow and red and blue, sort of thing. I think they were Holdens. Oh, they were XB Falcons. Okay. Because I'm just used to the Mad Max Falcon, which isn't like being a two-door and everything. It looks quite a bit different than those other ones, but it's just like the body lines are quite a bit different. And hi, Rascal. Can I help you, sir? Sir. Licky, 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 licky. And he is cleaning Saber. Or are you just like licking the water off his head? Hey, is that what you're doing? Hey, Rascal? I think he is actually. This is funny. Because as you can see, have you heard, wait, Australian car movie running on empty? I'm not sure if I have, actually, come to think of it. Like, Running Empty, I've heard of the movie, but have I actually, like, seen it? I don't think I have. Although something that was actually interesting, like, and me and my buddy, when I was up in Edmonton last time, found it on YouTube. So on YouTube, there actually is a like Vanishing Point is on YouTube, but not like the original Vanishing Point. They apparently remade it with Viggo Mortensen in the 90s. It's not a bad movie or anything. It's just kind of funny that they remade it, and it was for TV actually that they made it for, rather than being released in theaters. So kind of interesting that way. It's still like a good movie. Like the original, is still really good too. But just seeing that was kind of funny. Yeah, and it is on YouTube. Okay, I'll have to check it out maybe. Maybe. Hi, Saber. Got another one. Well, I just want to check. Okay. But I mean, it's been a good live stream, but I think I'm actually going to get a bite to eat here and then go to bed. Just have a nice little snack and everything, and like I said, then just go to bed because I am starting to get a little tired here, and I gotta get up early on the weekend. So, but anyways, thank you everybody for tuning in, and for the people who haven't watched this live but have been here to the end, I really, really, really do appreciate it. Like I said, I'm a little tired. I'm hungry. I need to get up, get some food, and whatever else. So, thank you everybody for tuning in. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.